Hello Explorer, thanks for joining us again to another informative video on our YouTube channel. If you are joining us for the first time here at Explorer, we go beyond borders to bring you inspiring content and also some very educating information. Today we are exploring the travel routes into the African continent. For those of you who plan to travel to the African continent for the first time, Africa does offers an amazing historic sites for holiday travelers and very interesting culture and dynamic issues that will attract you as you tend to visit the continent. But the question is, how do you travel to the continent? Some travelers will go through travel agencies and others could do it by themselves. But in this video, we are going to show you the different airlines and different travel routes which you could take if you're coming from Asia or from North America or from within Europe. So without any much delay, we should just go straight into it. With regards to this, we're going to put together some very top airlines that have mastered the route to travel to the African continent. By the end of this video, you'll be able to make your own choice. Number 1, Kenya Airways. Kenya Airways has been known to be a pioneer in terms of the African travel. They have mastered the different routes that they've traveled over the years. They have moved millions of passengers to the African continent. For those of you who plan to travel to Africa, and if you're coming from Europe, you could use Kenya Airways directly from their main hub in Europe, which is in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. You can fly through Amsterdam to land via the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. You can also use Kenya Airways from Europe when you are flying from London. From London, you can always land to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi. Moving ahead, if you still plan to travel from Europe, you can use Kenya Airways from France. For those of you who are coming from North America, it's very possible for you to fly Kenya Airways directly from New York. There is a possibility for you, once you use the airline from that direction, from that destination, it's a possibility for you to go to Kenya. Also, if you're coming from Asia, there is a possibility, there are different routes. You can fly Kenya Airways from Bangkok, or you can also fly from China in the city of Guangzhou, or if you're coming from India, you can fly Kenya Airways from Mumbai. Also, for those of you coming from Asia, you can still, as well, in this case, we are considering the Middle East. In this case, we're just looking at Dubai. You can fly Kenya Airways from Dubai as well. The next airline, which will be very helpful for you if you plan to travel to the African continent, is Ethiopian Airlines. If you are coming from Europe, Ethiopian Airlines flies to so many cities across the European continent that you have lots of choices. You can fly Ethiopian Airline from one of the cities across Europe. There are just over 22 different cities. You want to say that in this case, we're looking at cities like in Athens. You can fly Ethiopian Airline from Brussels as well. You can also fly it from Dublin. Some people can take it from Frankfurt. If you're actually living around London or in the United Kingdom, it's easy for you to fly Ethiopian Airline from London, Manchester also, and if you're coming from Spain, you can catch up Ethiopian Airline from Madrid. Also, for those passengers flying from France, it's possible to fly through Marseille. Rome is also a possibility from Italy, and you may as well use Milan, which is also a possibility. If you're coming from Scandinavia, Oslo will be a good bet for you, and for those who are really focused in Paris or France, you can fly it from Paris. Other destinations across Europe that Ethiopian Airline, you can take it from Stockholm, Vienna, from Paris, also from North America. So the passengers coming from that destination to go into Africa can use Chicago, Washington, DC, and also Newark. For passengers coming from Canada, they can also fly from Canada actually, or from Latin America. You can also catch up if you're going to Africa. You can use Buenos Aires and from Rio de Janeiro as well. If you are new to this channel, we would encourage you to subscribe and share our videos to your different network. Moving forward, The next airline that will be of ease for you to catch up your next business trip or your travel to the African continent will be Brussels Airlines. Brussels Airline has been known to captivate the African travels over the years. The airline has stamped its authority and has diversified its different routes. If you're flying from Europe to go to Africa, to any of the countries within the African continent, it's very easy for you to catch up Brussels Airline. Brussels Airline flies directly from its main hub in Belgium, in Brussels, Zaventem. You can also go to different routes. Brussels Airline flies to Dakar, also to Banjul. You can catch up Brussels Airline from Belgium and goes to Freetown. You do have in Monrovia as well as Liberia, and also it goes to Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire and to Ghana in Accra. They also have routes to Lomé, Togo, and to Cotonou. Brussels Airline has two landing hubs in Cameroon, that's in Douala and Yaoundé. Brussels Airline also extends its flight to Kinshasa and also to Bujumbura and to Luanda, Angola. They also go to Kigali in Rwanda and to Entebbe. Moving ahead to the next interesting airline, that for those of you coming from Europe, if you're planning to fly to Africa in any country, specifically, you may as well choose to take your connection flight. You may choose Air France KLM. Air France KLM have offered huge services for those travelers going to the African continent. From France, you can catch airlines, you can catch KLM or Air France directly to most of the cities across the African continent, or top cities we're talking about here, and to different countries. Air France will fly to many different, especially Francophone African countries. You can catch Air France. For those of you who come in directly from Germany or from the Netherlands and different parts across Europe, you can as well catch KLM directly from Amsterdam Schiphol International Airport. For those passengers going to Nigeria, to Lagos, and there is a possibility of a direct flight. But if you are flying to different countries in the Francophone part, KLM doesn't go there. You can go to the connection because Air France and KLM are strategic partners. So you may have your connection from Charles de Gaulle International Airport in Paris. If you are new to this channel, we encourage you to subscribe and share our videos to your different network. Moving forward, for some other passengers, a very interesting airline that could help you book your travel to the African continent is Air Maroc. Air Maroc offers a wide service for those passengers flying to the African continent. There are different places you could catch up. You can take Air Maroc from Düsseldorf in Germany. It does fly to Accra. You can also catch up Air Maroc from Amsterdam International or from Brussels in Belgium. This will take you to different cities across the African continent, and there's a possibility that by you using this, you'll fly to one of their main hub, which is in Morocco itself, in the capital, and from there you'll be able to have your next connection within the African continent. Moving ahead also, with regards to if you're coming from the Middle East, there's a possibility you can catch this particular airline from Saudi Arabia. There is a possibility, and also if you are going into the Lagos, there is a possibility if you're coming from Europe or from any part around the world. The next airline that will ease your travel to the African continent is Turkish Airline. Turkish Airline is a new kid in the block in terms of its operations. They started their travel to Africa not very recently, but a couple of years ago. However, they have mastered the African route so far. They travel to different cities across the African continent. This includes, if you like to fly to Turkey, you can go to Africa, different cities like in Banjul. You can also go to Bamako, Mali. They fly to Nairobi, and also they fly to the Botna and also Port Harcourt. For those who are trying to get into Africa in deep areas, I believe that Turkish Airline will help you in these different areas. You have places like they go to Jamina, Cotonou, and also extend their flight to Cape Town, and also to Alexandria, Egypt, and Libreville, Gabon, and also they go to Dakar in Senegal. Moving ahead also, for those who plan to have some extensive vacation across the African continent, if you plan to fly coming from the Middle East, there is a possibility you can use Emirates. Emirates also is also a new kid in the block, but again, they have mastered their direction and the routes that they've been taking over the years. They also understand the routes. They enter into African in different countries and also in different African cities. If you're flying from the Middle East or coming from Asia in particular, or you're connecting your flight coming from Australia or from Europe, you can as well have a connection flight from Dubai. From their hub there, they fly to Nigeria, also they go to Ghana, they fly to Ethiopia, and also to Cote d'Ivoire. For those of you who plan to go a little bit deeper into the continent, this particular Emirates airline goes to Algeria as well, and to Egypt, and they extend their flights to Morocco and South Africa. If you are new here, we encourage you to subscribe and share our videos to your different network. Last but not the least, with regards to the airlines in the African continent that will help you in terms of your holiday or business travels, will be South African Airline. South African Airline will actually help you to make route. Despite its recent challenges in terms of its economic situation and also the challenges that the airline has faced, South African Airline has been a major player. They've flown from their other hubs. If you're traveling from Germany going into Africa, in different countries within the continent, there is a possibility that if you're coming from Germany, you can catch up with South African Airline. South African Airline, from there you may have different connections and different route across the continent. It's up to you to make a decision. Hopefully we've been able to inform you with regards to the diversity in terms of different options that are available for those of you who plan to travel to the African continent. Of course, you can make your own decision, make your own choices, but again, our particular focus today is to help you have this diversity in terms of or varieties, so to point out, that could help you in making that very choice. In this area, we were talking about those specific airlines in the African continent that would help you make your choices. More importantly, by you having these different choices can enable you make some huge adjustments into your budget. We were just talking about Ethiopian Airlines, Kenya Airways, airfrance KLM, Air Maroc, Turkish Airlines, Turkish Airlines, Emirates, and also South African Airlines. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully we've informed you with regards to your smooth travel to the African continent. If you find this video helpful, we will encourage you to leave us a comment in the comment section. For now, thanks very much. We are looking forward to meeting you in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.